Okay, so this is the final part of your lesson 8. So let's look at ax plus by equals c. This is standard format for a linear equation. In this case, we are going to solve for a. That means I need a alone on one side of the equal sign. So let's look at how we do that. First thing I want to do is I want to lose this plus by. So my first line, we do ax plus by minus by equals c minus by. And all I did here was I subtracted by for both sides. So my next line, I'm going to simplify that. So now I have ax equals c minus by. And all I did there was combine my like terms. Next, I still need to get this x away from my a. Well, those two are multiplied together. The opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to use my division property of equality. And I'm just going to divide by x. So I have ax divided by x equals c minus by divided by x. Well, here, these will cancel. I get a equals c minus by divided by x. Well, that's the end of that. I'm done. Or am I? Let's look at this again. Let's look at that exact same equation, except this time we're going to solve for b. So we're going to follow a lot of the same process. First thing I'm going to do is I want to get rid of the ax. So this time I'm going to subtract ax. So that gives me by, because the ax is gone, equals c minus ax. Nice and simple, right? The next thing I want to do, I want to get rid of the y. So because they are multiplying, I'm going to divide. So divide both sides by y. So that gives me by divided by y equals c minus ax divided by y. That ends up with me having b equals c minus ax divided by y. So here is the exact same formula, this time solved for b. Now let's look at it again. What happens if instead I want to solve for x? Well, we're going to think the same thing. I have this term and this term. I want to get this term away from this side. So going to subtract by from both sides. So that gives me ax equals c minus by. And then this time I'm just going to divide again, but this time I want the x to be left, so I'm going to divide by a. So I end up with ax divided by a equals c minus by divided by a. Those will cancel. I get x equals c minus by divided by a. Now, notice there is not a single number anywhere in this. We still solved for x. We didn't have to have a number. The b coefficient, the a coefficient can still be used. One more way to look at this problem. Now let's look at solve for y. If you think you could do this, pause this video for a second and try to do this on your own, and then see if we come up with the same thing. So in this case, I am solving for y, so I'm going to try to get rid of this. So the first thing I'm going to do is subtract ax from both sides. So that gives me by equals c minus ax. All I did was subtract it from both sides. Well, now I'm trying to, once again, solve for y. The b's over here at the y bugging it. So we're going to just divide both sides by b. So I get by divided by b equals c minus ax divided by b. I cancel those out, and I find out what y equals. Y equals c minus ax divided by b. Now you've seen 4 different ways that you can solve this same equation.